Hey guys, Joel Frank here, market analyst for YouTrading, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a quick look at a trade idea that I'm thinking about at the moment. Now, there's not a specific setup here. It's more of an asset class which I really like the idea of buying the dip on when opportunities arise. So this will be something we're going to be monitoring in the weeks ahead. But let's talk about it. So it's the Nasdaq 100 index, or at least the chart here that I've got is a CFD that tracks the front month futures price of the Nasdaq 100 index. And you can see that the technicals are just looking really, really good on a lot of different fronts. So clearly we are in an uptrend. We can sort of link these lows like this, a clear uptrend. That's on the longer time frames, but on the shorter time frames as well. Like if you just go from this low, you can sort of link it up like this potentially. So clear uptrend, trend channels at least anyway. You can see all the moving averages are in ascending order and moving higher: 21, 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages all there. You had the golden cross back in early March, and since then it's pretty much been a one-way street higher. And there's some other things as well. So probably the first thing I should talk about is the fact that we look like we had this little dip recently, but we're back above the August 2022 highs after pretty much not confirming a break back below it, which is a good sign that we've actually gone through these highs now. And more importantly, we just bounced at least from the 50% retracement back from the 2022 low to the all-time high. You can see we fell back, tested that yesterday, and we saw a really, really strong intraday recovery, which is being continued today. So this is just looks like, technically speaking, a very, very healthy market. In terms of the fundamentals, the picture's perhaps a little bit more mixed. Like on the positive side of things, AI sentiment continues to lift the market. Like we had Nvidia jumping. In fact, let's actually have a look. NVDA. Nvidia is up about 25% after blowout earnings. I mean, it was more a blowout forecast because they're expecting demand for their chips to go through the roof amid ChatGPT and all these new AI related services which are going to be using those chips. That's giving the broader tech stock market a lift. Of course, we do have macro uncertainties about the looming US debt ceiling, which could be hit within like less than a week, like the US government running out of cash. But the market's expectation appears to be that a last minute deal is going to be done, as it always is, or normally always is. We've also got US economic data, which continues to surprise to the upside. Like the services, okay, manufacturing's in recession. That's what the PMI surveys are telling us. But services remains in healthy growth. That's what the PMI surveys are telling us. Labor market remains good. All of the recent data we've had, like, let me just show you um, yesterday's unemployment claims, 229,000. 20K below expectations and a positive revision on the last one. This is still a very healthy labour market. And then inflation is kind of sticky at higher levels as well. But everything pretty much pushing back against the idea that the US is about to go into a recession, which is good for the earnings outlook. But then again, if that keeps the Fed from cutting interest rates, which markets did build up expectations for, then perhaps that's not so good for these tech stocks, which prefer easier financial conditions. But still, we're talking about only another maybe one more rate hike from the Fed. I think that's what markets are pricing over the next two meetings. So it's not like the massive interest rate shock that we saw in 2022. This is more something that the market can handle when you've got positive economic trends continuing, positive trends continuing with like AI and stuff as well, which is making people more confident on these big tech stocks. But anyway, all said, think this is a market where you're going to want to look to be buying dips. So I'm going to be watching these trend lines. Like for example, I'm going to be keeping an eye on this one and this one. And if we do get dips back towards these areas, depending on the fundamental situation, I'll be thinking about potentially getting into this market. But anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you all found it informative, and I will see you all in the next one.